Good morning, East Texas. Thanks for joining us. Today is Sunday, April the 19th, and we're here to help you make the most of your day. A new job report will be out this morning in exactly 1 hour, plus a look at the numbers of coronavirus cases around Texas. And a Texas beach is worrying about shortage of safety on the shores after reopening. Erica, many people living here in the Onalaska community are still without power this morning. Homes are damaged or collapsed, making them unlivable, which is exactly what you're seeing right behind me. This mobile home, the front end of that structure ripped apart. The Texas National Guard was activated less than 12 hours ago across the state due to protests in cities like Dallas and Austin that have turned tense and violent.
A long night of coast-to-coast protest, demonstrators taking to the streets in some places, setting fires, confronting police, damaging their vehicles, and looting businesses.
The former Minneapolis officer at the center of this national controversy now facing third-degree murder charges this morning. Prosecutors investigating if the other former officers involved will also face charges. Karina Mitchell has the new details. Tyler police are investigating a fatal crash involving a vehicle and pedestrian that occurred less than 12 hours ago. The accident happened around 10:30 Saturday night. Police say a man was walking along the 3000 block of Highway 64 West when he was hit. The man was pronounced deceased on the scene. The driver of the vehicle remained at the scene and no charges are expected to be filed at this time. First, to your top stories on COVID-19 this morning. The death toll in the U.S. tops 36,000. Meantime, President Donald Trump plans to send 5.5 million testing swabs to across the U.S. Plus, California is taking a financial hit after a notorious yearly event is canceled due to the virus. Those stories are minutes away. Smith County Jail is taking unprecedented measures to combat the spread of COVID-19 by releasing at least 70 nonviolent inmates as of Friday, and we're told they could be releasing more in the coming days. A plan that is evolving daily, and sometimes it really feels like by the minute. However, organizers are telling us that they cannot do this alone, and that is why more than 200 partner agencies are answering that call this week. What was once the epicenter of COVID-19 in the state starts their process of reopening.
And the CDC with a new and alarming projection about where the death toll could go in the coming months. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim with more.
New this morning, state troopers are on the scene of a fatal crash in Anderson County that occurred less than 5 hours ago. Team coverage continues this morning. Joining us now is meteorologist Cody Goshchak. He's also tracking the threat for strong to severe storms in our area from the storm tracker. He's out on the roadways giving us a closer look. Cody, good morning. What are you seeing?
Good morning, Brennan.
Amazon is offering permanent positions to about 125,000 of its temporary workers. That's about 70% of the employees it hired during the coronavirus pandemic.
Room with the very latest. Brennan, when is the teen and her family expected to be reunited?
Erica, right now, Willow Sermon is more than 800 miles away as she is awaiting to be reunited with her family. Now, the Van Zandt County Sheriff's Office released that new information about less than 9 hours ago. Now, authorities tell us Willow was found in a city about an hour south of Louisville, Kentucky. Social distancing to reduce the risk of exposure to COVID-19 is a hard task behind the walls of a crowded jail.
We cannot afford for the 861 people to get contaminated with the virus.
In an effort to combat the spread of COVID-19, Sheriff Larry Smith and District County Judge Nathaniel Moran, among others, agreed to release nonviolent inmates.
With the help of the courts, the county courts of law, the state district courts, and also the municipal court of Tyler, has been very helpful in getting the nonviolent offenders, Class A, Class B, and Class C offenders.
Jail authorities are ensuring this decision will not jeopardize the safety of the public and would protect the health of inmates and jail employees.
The logic behind the whole thing is we keep the violent people in jail to protect the citizens, and we let the other ones out, the nonviolent ones out, to protect the inmates.
Criminal justice advocates say that everyone released has been checked along with their criminal history.
I believe we're taking appropriate measures and precautions to make sure that we don't contribute to the spread of the virus.
As of Friday afternoon, the sheriff says no inmates or employees have tested positive for COVID-19. He says they are constantly sanitizing in and around the facility, and deputies on the streets are taking their own precautions. In addition, every inmate brought to the facility is screened for symptoms. Just recently, there was a scare involving a person taken into custody who was deemed a risk.
One of our deputies brought in one for DWI, had 101 temperature. We couldn't let them in jail. They can't go to the emergency room. So we've found a responsible family member to release them to.
President Trump and the CDC announced earlier this week that people should avoid gatherings of more than 10 people and avoid bars and restaurants. This announcement is already impacting the food service industry, including servers who are facing major challenges.
Honestly, right now it's a day-by-day, customer-by-customer deal to me.
Roy Austin is a longtime employee at Brenno's Pizza in Pasta and Tyler, a family-owned business that has been around for 44 years. He says he relies heavily on foot traffic and tips as he has 3 kids and a wife to support.
This is 100% my income, man. So like you say, people don't show up. If they don't eat, my kids likely don't eat.
As the outbreaks continue to spread, business is slow as seats are nearly empty, as are other restaurants in the area.
You look around, I'm used to seeing all these tables full by this time of day.
If it continues to be like it is, the economy is going to go crazy, and we can't afford that.
Lori Rumbelow is the co-owner of Brenno's Pizza and Pasta, and she says she has around 60 employees counting on a paycheck.
This is what their living is, and they're worried about their families. So it's just a big circle of what are we supposed to do?
While Rumbelow agrees it's important to take preventative measures in protecting the public and her customers, she says it comes at a cost.
We can withstand some, but for 3, 4, 5, 6 more weeks, I don't know what people are going to do.
That's why Rumbelow is pleading to the public to support family-owned and local businesses as they face an uncertain future.
We haven't been in business this long to give up on our employees or anything like that.
The blue-striped law enforcement flag gripped firmly in her hand, a young girl is hitting the pavement, hoping to make a difference.
They risk their lives every day, and they risk their lives for people they don't know.
To show her appreciation, 14-year-old Faith Leach is dedicated to honor fallen law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty in 2020 through running 4 miles for each person.
I'm just glad to do it in my heart.
Most recently, Faith honored fallen police officer 26-year-old Jackson Winkler. He was gunned down January 5th during a South Carolina traffic stop.
We have an officer down at this time. Finds that suspect still firing, use precaution.
It's important to remember them, so the officers that are working now, they know that if they die in the line of duty, that we'll remember them still.
In 2019, 134 law enforcement officers died while on the line of duty in the U.S., according to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. Those who serve our community, like Tyler Police Officer Carrie Long, say while it's disheartening, it's the reality officers face.
But as soon as we get in that patrol car and we cross those gates, we are police officers and we will run and do anything to help anybody.
As Officer Long continues to dedicate her time through protecting and serving, she hopes the number of deaths decrease.
You can look on the officers down page and you hope and pray that you don't see another officer shot and killed.
However, the 18-year veteran officer and Faith's mom are grateful she is paying respects to the fallen brothers and sisters.
That's amazing. You don't hear too many teenagers doing something like that.
I think it opens her eyes even more to want to make change and to bring change and to hopefully change people's hearts.
Faith wants the families to know that their loved one's legacy is not forgotten, even if they're hundreds of miles away.
Maybe one day the family will see what I did for the officer and they'll realize that he was still remembered.
At UT Health East Texas in Tyler, the sounds of a piano serenade the hallways.
Music is just good for the soul. It really works on the mind as well as the heart.
As her fingers fly over the keyboard, LaWanna Steele has spent more than 6 decades perfecting the skill. Now she's gifting her talents by going room to room performing for patients.
I get back 10 times whatever I give back, whether it's a smile or a song or whatever.
The musician is moved to serve others even when she was recently diagnosed with thyroid cancer that metastasized to the lymph nodes.
I actually got a diagnosis that my cancer was back for the 3rd time in 2 years.
For musicality throughout the year and during the holidays in hopes of bringing comfort.
They're not having to think about the next test or the next IV or the next surgery. They've just got a happy little moment there.
Songs are requested with the goal of uplifting spirits for cancer patients like Arnaldo Hernandez.
Music is great. No matter what, music always brings peace in a way.
The music major is known for bedside performances and Sue Stewart is one of her biggest fans.
The music is the added bonus, the time that someone will give to you that's special.
Spreading cheer in different areas of the hospital still focuses on making an impact in each room she enters.
Not only does it take away the pain, but it helps you forget why you're here.
Cassie Ebert is the hospital's volunteer resource manager. She says Steele plays an invaluable role.
It's fun to hear how just the mood of the room just totally changes once she goes in.
Even when emotions run high, she also has a soundtrack of support for her own health battle.
Whether it's happy music or music that's, more dramatic, it definitely helped with the feelings that I was trying to cope with.